So this is one of the first times you've joined our live session. Here's a few instructions to help you out. At the bottom of your screen, you should see something that says Q&A. At any point today, please feel free to ask us questions. We have some chat moderators from MPOWER available to answer any question you may have. Here's a pro tip. The earlier you ask your questions, the greater chance we'll get back to you quickly. Sometimes questions asked in the last 5-10 minutes or so are hard to get to. Just because they're asked in the end. So at any point today, if you have a question, please go ahead and drop it in the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. But I think that's given everyone enough time to join us. It looks like we have 160 people here today, which is fantastic. So like I said, my name is Claire Allman. I'm a marketing manager at MPOWER, and I've been here actually almost 6 years, which is crazy how time flies. And then here with me today, I have Gizem and Silver, who have also been at MPOWER for quite a while. And something that's always really just impressed me about MPOWER is that it's a company full of former international students here to make international education better for future international students like you. And so I'm going to send out a poll, not a poll out, just to get to know everyone to figure out who we have here with us today. So launching that now. And then while you're telling us about you, I'm going to have our panelists introduce themselves. And so, Gizem, why don't you tell our audience a bit more about you?
Yes, definitely. My name is Gizem. I've been with MPOWER for over 4 years. I was an international student myself as well, and I'm with the customer relations team. I'm looking forward to assisting you guys through the application process and be in your lives, at least in the webinar session. Thank you for joining.
And Silver.
Hey everyone, my name is Silver Young, and I'm a marketing and sales manager at MPOWER Financing, and I have been with this company for more than 3 years now. I'm from China, and I came to the US to study about 8 years ago, and I have stayed in the country since then. I'm really happy to be here to share my knowledge about MPOWER and also my personal experience as a former international student.
Awesome. Thanks, Silver. And so if you just joined, there is a poll going on. You have a few seconds to answer the questions there, 5-10 seconds more. And then I actually didn't tell you the topic of the webinar today when I introduced it, I just realized. So today we're doing an application walkthrough. So we'll introduce you to MPOWER a bit, tell you a bit more about what we're up to, and then Gizem is going to walk you through our application process. And that'll be the focus of today's webinar. Towards the end, the last 15 or 20 minutes or so, we'll ask or answer any of the questions that you ask us in that Q&A function. We'll answer some of them live. And so please start asking us questions now so we have more to talk to towards the end of this. And so ending the poll and sharing the results. So it looks like 77% of our attendees today are from Africa. Great to have you. And then 11% from South and Southeast Asia, and 4% from East Asia, and a smattering from the rest of the world as well. Great to have you. And then a really diverse mix in terms of where people are in the student study abroad journey. About 28% are still thinking about going abroad and haven't applied yet. About another 29% have applied, but are waiting to still get the acceptance letter. 30% have been accepted. Congratulations, that's awesome. And then another 14% are already in school or currently in school. So actually we have a little bit of people everywhere. So that's great. And then the most important question, if you could travel to the past or future, which would you pick? And 19% would go back in time, 48% would go to the future, and then a nice 33% are living their best lives, and there is no time like the present. So Gizem, Silver, I always have to know, what is your answer to this question? I just, it's essential. So if you could travel to the past or future, which would you pick? Starting with maybe Silver.
If it's a one-way ticket to the future, to past or future, and I will choose to stay in the present. And if it's not a one-way ticket, and I'm sure that I can be able to come back, and I will choose the future.
I think that's probably the crux of this question, huh? Is it a round way or a round trip or a one-way ticket? What about you, Gizam?
I think I would choose future. If I can come back, like Silver said, then I can be like, okay, this is what's going to happen. Let me fix this in the present, like Back to the Future, right? Then I can do that. Then I will be very happy. But past makes who we are, so I wouldn't change that.
Nice. I think I would also go with no time like the present if it's a one-way, because there's no guarantee that your future trip will have a future, depending how far out you're going. So, but all right, back to loans, and studying abroad. But thank you both for humoring me. So, Silver, starting with you, I have a few just basic questions about MPOWER. So you saw that a lot of people here are still thinking about studying. They haven't even applied to school yet. So for anyone here that's not familiar with MPOWER, can you tell everyone a little bit more about what MPOWER is and what we do?
Okay. So Gizem just said that past makes who you are, but I think what MPOWER is doing here is to make your past not going to define you. And that is our mission. And just start with the basics. So MPOWER is a public benefit corporation that provides funding for international students if you are pursuing a higher education in the US or Canada. And our mission, as I said, is to make sure that you do not need to worry about your own or your family's financial situation or any past that your family has been going through to be a barrier to your study abroad journey. And we want to empowering students around the world like you to be able to achieve your dream study abroad. Actually, that if we took a look at the world, and I think it's not hard to realize that in many countries like the US and Canada, international students are significantly underserved when it comes to educational finance by their local governments and also the banks. For example, like US government offers billions of dollars every year in student loans to American citizens to support their higher education. But this is almost a no-go for international students. And a similar situation with the banks, private banks, though some of them do accept loan applications from international students, but they usually require collateral. For example, that you can use a house as collateral or a cosigner to be able to approve your loan application. And they require the cosigner to be either an American citizen or a permanent resident. And this situation also happens in many other countries other than US and Canada. So this is a big problem around the world. And here comes MPOWER. We established in 2014, and our founder were dedicated to solve this problem. And our product is designed for international students like you. And it means that our loan, we do not need cosigner or collateral for you to apply. And you only need to meet two criteria to apply for our loan. One is that you're going to one of our support schools. And the second is that you can finish your program in 2 years. We're going to talk more about eligibility later in the session, but we support more than 400 schools in US and Canada. So I'm confident that you will be able to find your one.
Thank you so much, Silver. So that was a wonderful introduction to MPOWER and what we do as a firm. But I imagine most people here are interested in specifically our student loan product. So can you review some of the benefits of our student loan? And probably more importantly, explain just a little bit about why MPOWER student loan is the #1 loan for international students?
Okay, let's talk about our product features first. So our student loan, we offer is starting at $2,001 and up to $100,000 over 2 academic terms. Academic term means 1 semester or 1 quarter. It depends on how your school names it. So it means that you can apply our loan for 2 semesters, which means that 2 academic terms. And the lifetime maximum amount is $100,000. And for every semester, there is also a maximum, which is $50,000. Just make sure that you do not exceed that amount, and then you will be okay. And you can use our loan to pay for your tuition. And in many cases, you can also use it to cover the living expenses. For example, that in the US, many schools allow education loans to pay for textbook, like school supplies, meal plans, and also living expenses. So in the US, that you're welcome to apply a loan to cover your tuition and living expenses. While in Canada, university policies are a little bit stricter, and generally that they only allow you to use this fund for tuition. It may be some exceptions for some programs or some schools in Canada. If you're not sure whether you can borrow our loan to cover living expenses, it's always safe to check with your school's financial aid office, and then they will give you the most accurate answer. Because we disperse our loan to your school directly, so they need to be able to accept our loan. As long as they accept it, you're fine. And that's what the loan can be used for. But what's better about MPOWER? There are 3 features that set us apart from our partners. From our competitors. Why MPOWER is the best? First feature we have is that we do not require cosigner and collateral. As international students, usually that is harder. It's really hard for us to find a cosigner who's happened to be a citizen in the US or Canada, or have the permanent resident status in the country, because usually that we are the first one who come to this country among our family members. And also have a loan that do not need cosigner or collateral. It also means that you can apply on your own without bothering your families. We can do this because our credit model evaluates your future earning potential based on your academic performance, which means like GPA, your English test scores, and certain academic performance, and not only about your past finances. And the second perk about MPOWER is that we offer fixed interest rate. Actually, MPOWER is the only company that provides fixed interest rate to international students without cosigner, and we're the only one in the market that provides this product. Fixed interest rate makes it easier for you to plan your finances, future payments, because the payments won't change over the course of the loan. You can borrow our loan for up to 10 years, and with a fixed interest rate, it means that over the 10 years, your interest rate will never going up. And even if the global interest rate goes up, your one will not go up with it. So you are guaranteed the same rate throughout the whole long term. This is quite predictable and also lower your risk. Another one of the perks that MPOWER has is that we lend in US dollar, and the fund will be dispersed directly to your school. So you will never have to worry about losing value on your loan due to exchange rates. And also you do not need to worry about the hassle of exchange currencies and wiring money transnationally before you come studying overseas. All you need to do is to make sure that you get into one of our support schools, you get your visa, and then you show up, and we'll take care of the money part. And finally, another perk is that everyone with an MPOWER loan also gets access to our Path to Success program. This is a program that we help our borrower to successfully get internship, get jobs while they're in school and also after they graduate. And with this program, it's free for all of our borrowers. And I think one of the chat moderators, please feel free to send a link in the chat box. Once your loan is dispersed, please come to our webpage and fill out a form and tell us about your name, your email address, and what you need for us to help with your job searching in the US or Canada. And we can offer you career development counseling, and we can offer help you to polish your resume, your cover letter, and also help you to do mock interviews to help you to successfully land a job and be able to pay back our loan. That's it.
Thanks so much, Silver. And the funny thing is, we probably keep talking about benefits that we didn't have time for in a brief introduction. So MPOWER is pretty cool. And so, but Gizem, you are up. And so Gizem, our customer relations representative extraordinaire, is going to take everyone through MPOWER's loan application. So over to you, Gizem.
All right, let's get started. I will share my screen first here. All right. So we'll go through what our application process is and some tips while we're going through the application as to what you can do to have a seamless experience. So first of all, you start your application. That's what we will worry about. You will check your eligibility. So some of the eligibility criteria is that you need to be graduating within 2 years of your program. If you're doing your bachelor's, you should be in your 3rd year if it's a 4-year program. If it's a master's, normally it's 2 years, so that should be fine. And you need to be admitted or enrolled into a university that we support. So you will need to meet those to be able to move forward. And then we'll get to know you a little bit more, your basic information as to who you are you in the US, Canada, what is your immigration status, etc. And we will talk about the tips there. And which major, then school and employment, which major, which school are you planning to go to? Did you take any tests to be able to get admitted to your program? And if you were employed, etc. before, or you're expecting some good news and then getting a job offer. Then getting to know your finances, because this is very crucial. And we'll talk over that a little bit further. And then we will get your ID and then move the application to the next steps, and we'll talk about them. So the first thing is you'll see this, and it's going to be personalized according to your name. If you are thinking about studying or applied to school but haven't been accepted, in order to make a decision on your loan, we'll need proof of your program of study. So definitely an application can be started in general. However, we need a proof that we need to move forward. So we will not have decision until that's done, because we need to know what program, what major, etc. If you're accepted, congrats. But you haven't enrolled, there will be a different way of walkthrough. So it's important that you choose the right thing. If you're enrolled, it means that you started your program. There will be different questions. If you are enrolled, but you're just transferring from another school, there will be different prompts. So it's very important that you choose this the right way. Otherwise, you'll need to go back and do it again, because some of the fields may not be applicable to you. So some of the things that you would like to know is expected graduation date. Since one of the eligibility criteria is that you need to graduate within 2 years of your program, this is a crucial part. If you know that it's more than 2 years, you'll need to wait until you're eligible in that period. And you may not know your exact graduation date. That's perfectly fine. You can put your program end date because your school, when you're admitted especially, will be able to tell you it's like 18 months, 24 months. So I would ensure that I speak with my school and ensure that I know, because that will be an important part. You will not have this GPA portion here. If you're already enrolled and finished one semester, it will come back. This is not the GPA for your previous school. This is the GPA for the current school. And normally in the US, the GPA scale is to 4. Canada may be different, right? You can always do the conversion, and the university website for Canadian schools will tell you GPA converter. They have it so that it matches. You can always use it and put the right thing, because it's important that we get the correct information from you, because we will need proof for certain expectations. If you are just admitted, this should not be coming to you, because we will try to get to know you about your admission. Then you'll select your major. So if you are doing master's, PhD, we would like to get to know as to which program you're doing, because we will need to understand how long the program is going to take, what is the nature of the program. If you're eligible, you'll get congratulations. You will need to put your legal first and last name. When we say legal, whatever appears on the passport for the seamless experience, we would definitely need that. Citizenship country. Whatever your citizenship country is on your passport, please put that. If you're a dual citizen, whichever country you will go for, please put that country and provide the identification accordingly. What is your mobile phone number? If you are not in the US or Canada yet, that's perfectly fine, because you can start your application from your home country. If you're just admitted, we don't expect that you're here yet. You can put your phone number from your home country. You see the country code here. You would start to type down your country code and then your phone number. If you're in the US, you can put that as well. However, if you also have your home country number, it would be good to have alternative number as that, so that we know if you go back to your home country, we're able to keep in touch with you anytime as needed. Because your application process will be very crucial for you to be fulfilled, so that we can call you, not just email you, but be able to call you. And good news is that we also have WhatsApp. So you can, if you want to be contacted through WhatsApp number, please also put that in there. One of the most crucial things here is, what is your permanent address? Permanent address is normally your citizenship country address. However, you may not be in your citizenship country for a while. Maybe you're a permanent resident somewhere else. You can also put that if you have the proof that you've been outside your home country for a while. We need proof of those things. So if you're already in the US or Canada and you're an international student like myself or Silver, please put your home country address, not US or Canadian address here. When we ask if you are in the US or Canada, you will put that there. The reason that I'm emphasizing on this is one of the most crucial areas where, if you want your application to go seamless, definitely this needs to be done correctly. Otherwise, this can cause different scenarios in the close to the decisioning period of your application, because we will need more information on this. Immigration status, you may not have it yet. It's okay. You may not have visa. The good news is that if your application is approved or applications are approved, we'll provide you with supporting documents for your immigration, and it's free of charge. So with the immigration status, if you're a DACA, permanent resident, asylum, refugee, citizen meaning US citizen, you would enter that. If you're in any other visa type, or you will be in other visa types like student visa, work visa, etc., please choose non-citizen. This will be also crucial, since if we choose this incorrectly, there may be a need of starting a new application due to some webs that are relevant to the application. Please ensure that this is correct. If you don't have visa in the US or Canada yet, that's perfectly fine. You can choose no. If you're approved, we'll support you in any way. If you have it, you will say yes, and you'll have different types of visa types will coming in. Please provide that, because we will also need the proof that you're already in the US or Canada. As far as degree is concerned, let's say you chose master's, we want to get to know what major. You may not have 100% all the majors there. Please choose the most relevant. If you're doing the dual degree or dual major, we would like to know that, because we need to know that the overall costs are covered and what is the nature of the dual degree. If you don't have it, that's perfectly fine. STEM is also a crucial one. Some degrees is very easy. STEM means science, technology, engineering, or math. Your school will know this. If it's like biology, computer science, engineering, etc., that's pretty obvious. It's STEM, right? It's science. There are some degrees may not be as like understandable as to is it, because schools courses may be different, where it's more lenient towards STEM because you're taking more STEM courses. If you're clicking on STEM and this is like a different degree that is not obvious that is STEM, it's always good to check with the university if it's already mentioned as STEM. So we don't need to ask for proof for that, because if it's mentioned on the university website, we'll look at it. We're not going to make you work at all. So please ensure that this is correct. And if you're full-time, part-time, cumulative GPA will come in if you are enrolled and finish one semester. If you did not, we will not ask for it because you're just admitted and starting your journey. If you're doing on-campus, online, or hybrid, we would like to know, because you should be residing in the US or Canada, wherever the program of study is at some point of time. So we would like to know if it's fully online or when are you coming in, because we will need certain documentation to understand that you're going to be coming in, and there may be changes with the curriculum of that specific program. So we would like to know a little bit more on that. Then you're going to choose what grade level. So if you're a bachelor's, we want to know in your 3rd year, 4th year, 5th year, is it extending, graduate, whichever level you are. We would look at it from, if you're applying for this semester, let's say, which year are you in now? If it's going to be, you didn't start yet, right? Let's say you're going to start in fall 23, which is August to December 2023. It would be 1st year, right? You still did not start, but you're going to be in 1st year. So you would need to look at it from that angle. So now test scores, crucial parts. If you have any language tests that you needed to take, or you need to take standardized test scores, which is like GRE, GMAT, maybe you're in bachelor's degree, SAT, whichever applies to you. If you had to take it, please provide us with the score. And what we do is the percentile rank. So if you have that also, please provide it. If you haven't taken it or wait, please also mention that. However, if you took it, it's mostly encouraged that you provide that information and provide the proof if your application moves forward to the next steps. All right, so the next thing is your employment, because we're looking at your future potential, your overall picture. We want to understand what you did, what you're doing currently. If you don't have it, it's okay. But if you have it, please mention it if it's relevant to your field. So if you're doing master's in chemical engineering, were you a chemical engineer before? So we would need to know that to understand what type of work you did. And if you don't have it, no problem at all. You can also mention that. Let's talk about numbers. I love that we talk about, let's talk numbers here. This is a very important part. We want to know your costs until graduation and what is available to you. So what we're looking at is, let's say to graduate, you need 100,000 from MPOWER, like from yourself. Let's say you have scholarship, family funding, personal funding. They need to be also available, not that it's already spent. It needs to be something that is available that you can show proof. You have, let's say, scholarship, school promised you that you will get that scholarship. Anything that is literally available, you would put that so we can tell you, okay, your cost is 100,000, you have 50,000. What do you need from MPOWER? Because we want to ensure that you're successful. The loan isn't a burden to you. You have the relief mechanism of, oh, MPOWER took care of me. So we do that calculation for you. The only thing that you need to do for us is talk to your school or go to the website for your program and check what the costs are. So we have tuition costs, cost of living, as Silver mentioned, some costs, like especially for US, like living costs, etc., can be covered. We're sending the verification to the financial aid office. They can tell what is accepted versus Canada. There may be some stringency on that where some schools may or may not. So, but we would like to know it so that you can also see the breakdown of your costs and any additional costs like transportation, meals, right? That will also be like something that you need to account for. Then health insurance costs. Normally school gives that to you, or if you're looking at other sources. we would like to know this. We want to know these in US dollars. So if you're going to a Canadian school, please ensure that converting it to US dollars. And 1 year cost. Some of the universities, when you go to the website, you can literally put the university name in Google, cost of attendance, and you can put your program, it will pop. Most of the US schools, especially, they're very keen on that. It may be credit system, it may be for the whole program. Sometimes it's a year. Please calculate that according to 1 year, because we will ask how many semesters will it take to graduate. If you have 4 semesters, it would be 2 years. If it's a quarter system, you would calculate it according to that, right? Because there may be term and quarter. But if you put 1 year cost here, let's say it's 50,000, and you said I have 4 semesters to finish, we will automatically say 50,000 times 2 is 100,000 is what you need to graduate, right? So it's important that you put this correctly, and also how many semesters you have left, put it correctly. You can also talk to your school and say 18 months, right? Normally it's 1.5 years. How many semesters is 3 semesters? I can put 3 semesters here. So you can always leverage that. After we get that and the funding available to you with we will need the actual proof if you move forward, right? We will do the calculation just for you. So as an example here, let's say your cost until graduating is $60,000 and funding available to you is $42,000. We will deduct the 60 minus 42 is 18. So we say it means that you need $18,000 from MPOWER. So when you see the requested loan amount, we give you a hint tip. Use your funding gap as a starting point, which would be 18,000. If this is incorrect, you think, you can always go back and redo that. And please leverage your school at any time. I would suggest that. The other thing is, after we get all of your information, we'll ask for your ID. So if you have a passport as an international student, especially, we will need passport in the end to decision, because your visa needs to be stamped on that too. So if you don't have a passport yet, no worries. If you're applying, you can let us know. You can put one of these documents like national ID, driver's license, state or government ID. If you have passport, that's great. What we need to know is it should not be blurry, visible to us. We need your great photo so we can see your face. That's what the IDs have normally. Your other information like your full name, date of birth, and the validity. So it should not be expired at all. So after you put all this in place, we may move forward as to saying we need more information and you may get conditional approval. What does this mean? So we can give this on the spot, or we may need additional information. So what this means is whatever we see with your application and whatever you input, it looks good. But however, to make the final decision, we'll need additional documents that you need to upload. The reason that I'm talking about this is, and I'm going to go back just to remind everything, this isn't an official offer. If you're getting it, it's exciting, but we still need documents that will back it up to make a final decision. So just to go back, for your costs, we'll be able to figure it out. Funding, anything that you put here, scholarship, family funding, we need proof for that, that they exist and they did not go away. Scholarship is promised to you. Costs are correct so that our conditional offer or any other offer calculation is correct for 1 year. For the employment, we may need to ask for a resume. And if you have any post-graduation job offer, also please let us know, because we'll ask for that. If you don't need to worry about it. And if you look at the test scores, if you have them, we will ask for proof for your test scores. And for your admission, right, if you're admitted, we would need an admission letter to make a decision. If you're already studying, we will need a current transcript to see your cumulative GPA if this is correct. And if it's really STEM or we're not able to figure it out, we may need to ask for proof for that if it's a different type of program, or if it's on the website, we don't need to, but please ensure that that is correct. And if you are already in the US, we may ask for the US address or Canadian address. If you don't have visa, that's perfectly fine. And the permanent address, we will need the home country address proof. from your home country. If you're in the US or Canada already as an international student, please do not put permanent address as US or Canada. Please put your home country address and entry and the proof for that. And legal name will be important. Your passport should be matching that to avoid the extra hassle. That would be it from me. I hope this has been a helpful session.
Thank you so much, Gizem. And then our attendees may have noticed that our underwriter extraordinaire Ron popped in partway through the session. He joined us a little bit late. And so, Ron, I have a few questions for you, and then I'm going to open it up to everyone here to answer some of the other questions that our attendees sent us live. But Ron, after watching Gizem take us through the entire loan application, I think everyone wants to know, how can I get my application approved faster? So what are the secrets to getting a fast review or the fastest review possible?
Sure. So some of the secrets, I think like Gizem said, like make sure most of the information that you enter on the application kind of matches like the documents you're going to send us. Like some examples that I've seen that can cause some delays are like if like a name is different from your passport, or you forget to enter your middle name. I've seen this a lot. Like you enter your first name and last name on the application, but on your passport there are 3 names, so that can cause like small delays. Those are some things. And the most important part is when you're submitting all your documents, just make sure all your documents match what you gave us in the application. Another example I can give you, if you said you had $10,000 on your application and you got a conditional approval based on that $10,000, you have to show us proof of that $10,000 in a bank account or some kind of savings. If you're not able to do that, that can also cause significant delays, because then again, we reach back out to you to confirm, okay, do you have the 10,000? Do you not have it? And then you agree, you answer that question, then it comes back to us. So that can cause delays again.
Right. And then you kind of answered this, but are there any other mistakes that people make on the application that are really common that you want to call out?
Yeah, I've seen this actually more recently. I think it's also a little bit confusing because of the current period of the year that we are in. The example that I'll give you guys is the 2020 through 2023 full year, or like a particular semester of fall 2022 or fall or spring 2023. People can get confused if you're starting your loan in spring 2023 and you know you're going to only be doing it in spring 2023. Do not select the entire year, because that can also cause some delays. Try to select the exact term of starting. If you already started in fall 2022 and spring, you want to apply for both terms, like a loan for that period, that's the only time you need to select the entire year.
And so it's the period you want the loan applied to, not the school period. And that's probably that kind of sounds like
exactly, yeah.
Cool. So how do people apply for multiple schools, or how can they apply for multiple schools? And I know the answer is not submit lots of loan applications.
Yeah, actually, yeah, they can submit multiple loan applications, but conditional offers, you'll get conditional offers based on them. The difference is the actual loan offer that you get can only be for one school. So you can submit multiple applications, you'll get conditional offers, but only once you kind of decide, okay, I know which school I'm going to. And that's when you'll get your final loan documents, which you actually have to sign, and that symbolizes the actual loan offer that you get from MPOWER.
And then I think we've launched a new application recently. What are you advising students to do now when they ask you this question and they're applying? They ask about submitting multiple schools.
Yes. So as far as multiple schools are concerned, because we review each application, right, and university, so the documentation is different. So you may have scholarships somewhere, you may not have scholarships somewhere. It may be a US school, it may be a Canadian school. That's why there will be multiple applications, right? Because if you decided now it's US, now you want to go to Canada, the whole process is different. So there will be that, but my suggestion is, yes, there can be different applications. Let's say you're prospecting with 5 different schools. To reduce the confusion, please ensure that you know that you are getting your admission letter with them, right? Sometimes you may have like, I love these 5 schools. let me start an application, but for us to decision it, admission letter will be required in a way. Like we can start the application, of course, but the decision will be based upon the verifying your program. So it's important that that is handled if you have different projections about which school you want to go to.
Cool. Thank you so much. And so here's a quick question for Silver. Does MPOWER, if people need more money in school outside the loan, what are some other ways MPOWER offers to make money? Our scholarship and referrals, for example.
Yeah. If you are not able to get a loan from us, you can still get money from MPOWER. We do offer 2 programs, and one is our scholarship programs. And for all the international students that goes to one of our support schools. And we currently have 5 scholarship programs. We have Global Citizen Scholarship. We have a Woman in STEM scholarships that rewards a woman pursuing field in STEM. And we also have MBA scholarship. So if you have MBA, please apply. And we also have refugee scholarships. And we also have monthly scholarships that we offer every month. And we give $4,000 in awards each month. You can enter our November scholarship now just by writing a short essay about what you are thankful for as international students. And I think our chat moderator probably already sent the link of our scholarship page in the chat box. Please go there and choose a scholarship that suits you and apply. And we do offer scholarships every year. So every year that you can come and apply and get your chance. And we also have a referral program that also can give you some pocket money. If you're already a borrower with MPOWER, you're welcome to refer to your friend to MPOWER. And normally we offer $300 prepaid card to reward you. And the people who you referred, if they take the loan, they will also get $100 in prepaid card. However, this month we're actually running a promotion. So if you refer anyone to apply for MPOWER's loan before November 15, which is next week, and you will get $400 in prepaid card. And once your friend takes a loan, they will get $100 in rewards. So there are the 2 ways that you can earn money from MPOWER.
Awesome. Thanks, Silver. So Ron, I have a question for you. People want to know more about our timelines, how fast they can get an approval, and then, how long the rest of the process takes. So can you walk everyone through the timeline to getting approved a little bit more?
Yeah, so right now there are different timelines for different things that we are kind of doing. So if your application is in final review, I think if you know that, you'll probably receive a mail from us saying that application is in final review. Once it reaches there, usually right now, because it's not peak anymore, we are able to give a decision within 3 to 4 business days. So once you get that email that it's in final review, you'll get a decision, either approval, decline, or we may ask you some more information. So you should be hearing back from us within 3 to 4 business days. If your application is still in initial review, that means there's something going on with your application. It's being reviewed, so that may take a little bit longer. We have like a lot of applications at initial review right now, so I think the timeline there is around 7 to 10 days to get like a response from initial review. If your application is stuck longer than that in initial review, I would recommend reaching out to our team, because we think there may be something wrong with the application, or like with our system itself. Because of the changes that we made, we've actually seen a lot of issues there.
So as a follow-up question, what are the most common reasons someone's loan application might be denied?
Sure. So the most common reason that we see is if we don't think you'll be able to pay us back, and based on like the internal calculations and the projections that we do, That's the most common reasons for decline. The other ones are like if you have like a bad credit history. Like I don't mean the credit score itself. I mean a credit history. Like if you file for bankruptcy, Chapter 7, things like that. If you've uh, if you've charged off loans before, uh, that's also another bad sign. So those are usually declined. Some other reasons for decline are if your GPA is low. That's a reason for decline. And if your graduation date is more than 2 years away from today's date, that's another reason. We can only fund students who are within 2 years of graduation. So if you're maybe you're a freshman going to undergrad, Empower cannot really fill those needs. You'll have to be in the third or fourth year of your undergrad to get an Empower loan. Or if you're in grad school, again, grad school should be fine. Most programs are within 2 years, unless you're doing like a specialized degree which takes 3 years. Those are again not those again will be a reason for decline.
Great.
And
You
yeah.
have
Oh,
more?
and the most common one that I've seen people getting declined for was you applied to the you fill the application for one school, but the admission letter says another school, which is not a school that we support. And yeah, there's absolutely nothing we can do there for now. Like maybe in the future we'll support that school, but as of today, that's going to be a reason for decline.
I think generally at the loan application, that's whatever you say in the application always has to match the docs. And so if you mix them up, it'll just cause your application to get stopped or declined. But everything always has to match for us.
Exactly.
Gazem, I think I have an exciting question for you. So one of the people submitted a question, what comes first, acceptance to study or the loan application? What are your recommendations? Do you need your acceptance letter first or the loan application first in an ideal scenario?
Okay, so as a prior international student, I can tell you first of all, right, like the different approach. We didn't have international student loans back then, but I was waiting for different admissions from different schools. Some of them went through, it's like job application. Not everything is going to go through. But I cannot put it in my resume that I applied for these, right? So it's the same thing. My suggestion is if you want your application to be seamless, of course you can save time from the written application piece. But if you put certain documents and there's no admission letter, it will be stuck in the final review stage saying, where's your admission letter? So in any way, it will not help to get to the next level. For you to get to the next level, you definitely need admission letters. So my suggestion is if you got it, please hastily apply. But if you're applying earlier on, we may tell you in automated emails as well as your relationship managers, we need your admission letter, we need your admission letter. And that can also cause expiration if it's taking certain period, then you may need to start a new application if the admission letter is taking a while. So to cut that hassle, admission letter would be a preferable way to go forward to get that and then apply. I hope that answers the question.
Does, and I follow up for you. So a lot of our attendees have submitted an application with MPOWER and they want to know what the status is or what the next steps are for them. Is the right move, I think typically I hear you say, to write back to the relationship manager that's been emailing them, or what are your recommendations for those?
Yes.
For those?
I think depends on which application stage you're in. So if you're at the initial stage, we will send an email to you automatically saying we still need this. I would encourage that's uploaded. And you can always go to the FAQ section to see what that means because our FAQs are pretty broad. You can always do a free field to see what can happen, even the decline reasons, right? They're all like embedded in there. You can read more through it. You can be like, why was I declined? Like you can just type declined, right? So FAQs will definitely help you there. If you're at final review, let's say credit team needs more clarification, definitely you'll need help at this point because you will not be able to see it on your dashboard. You will know that you need something, but you don't know what it is. Definitely you would need to reach out then. The only tip that I have here is if you're at initial review, like Ron said, it may take time, especially spring 2023, so which is like January through May 2023. Currently, we're working on those applications. Still, please give us 7 to 10 business days even for a final review. I know you may be getting 5 business days sometimes. The timelines change when there's a high volume of applications. If you have application for summer 23 and on, please bear with us. That timeline can be a little bit extended because we're trying to help international students like yourself. That will start in a month and a half. So we need to ensure that their educational goals are met. So we appreciate the patience if you are applying for summer 23 and on. But if you have spring 23, please let us know if you also have a deadline. We would appreciate that, and your relationship manager can appreciate that, so that we can accommodate accordingly.
So for those that are trying to escalate an application, they might need a turnaround time really quickly because they're starting school in the spring. What do you recommend they do? You said tell us a deadline. Is it right back to us in the contact us form that we sent in the form?
Exactly. If you can put a subject to there saying deadline in like 5 days. I mean, credit team will also expedite it, right? And then Ron can talk about that, like as to what we're expediting, so that we can also get it from the subject as to, okay, this is crucial because we're getting high volume of application, thus inquiries. We will prioritize your matter. And when we say deadline, please ensure that these are correct deadlines. Like if you're applying for your visa, my visa appointment is in 2 days, or I'm going to get my I-20 from my school and they told me deadline is tomorrow. So if you can give extra information, we'll know what to do and work with the different departments to decision your loan.
So Ron, just to add to that, anything about expediting and for the underwriting team?
Yeah, pretty much the same thing. So we get all our applications from the relationship team. So if you get it expedited there, it'll just come back to us a little sooner. One thing that I want to point out is if everyone just expedites their application, it becomes the same pool again. So then we won't really be able to expedite it. So just be a little careful when you're trying to expedite it. I would say if you have like a 5-day turnaround time, like I need the decision in 5 days, that's when you need to think about expediting it. But if you have like a month, I would say don't really push us to expedite it. You will get your decision pretty soon. If it comes to that 25th day and you haven't received a decision, go ahead and expedite it. We will get that decision out to you before that 5th day.
Awesome. So we're nearing our last 5 minutes together or so, and so I'm going to start wrapping up. If you haven't dropped a question yet, now is the best time. Or now is the best time. I get it in fast. But so first, everyone here, first question is, what advice do you have for our future international students if you can only give everyone just one piece of advice? And then if there's time, I have one more question for you. But starting with Silver.
I'll mute myself. One advice for me is that please take your time to find internships and network more with your professors and with your peers, and trying to plan your future early. I mean, that's the same advice with getting a loan from MPOWER. Plan your future early and submit your application early. And in that case, it can definitely help you to make sure you have a job as soon as you graduate. I was in a program in the US. It was a master program, and it was like less than 2 years. It's about like 1.5 years, and the time really flies. And if I can experience that again, and I will definitely start looking for internships since day one. And I only started at the 2nd semester, and I kind of feel I'm a bit behind compared to my peers in school. So that's my number one advice to all of you.
Exam, same question. Yes, Silver, you stole the stage here with this. I will add one more thing. Keep your grades up, right? Because then you get the attention from your professors, and it will differentiate you from others, right? Because when you're going with optical practical training, maybe in Canada, you will get a job. Even if you're a citizen, it will be the same way. It gives an competitive edge. And so piggyback on what Silver said, please don't think that you have fun, but balance it, right? My program was 12 months, literally. I didn't have any breaks. 10th month came, I'm like, what do I have lined up here? And I didn't have anything. So I needed to rush and talk to everyone. My grades were good, so I was able to get something, but please don't get to that. Talk to the International Student Office all the time. This is what I want to do. How can you help me? Leverage our Path to Success program if you're a borrower with us. So get all of your support.
Awesome. So Ron, you have to follow those answers. What's your piece of advice for
Yeah,
for
it's going to
international
be
students?
really hard to follow those, but okay, yeah, I'll try it. My advice is going to be open. I know you're going to be going through a lot of different changes. You may get a lot of culture shock. You may experience very, very different things when you get here, but try to keep yourself open to new experiences. You will meet a lot of different people when you're here, especially in school. You'll meet people from all over the world. It's not just one country. You'll probably meet people from like 20, 30 different countries. Uh, Again, follow Silver's advice, network with all of them. You never know, maybe it doesn't work out here in the US, but it may work out with some friends that you make in school. You guys can maybe start something of your own. So yeah, just be open to new experiences and like try to do that. Right? Yeah.
Awesome. So, and then one final question for everyone here. Why is MPOWER the best product or have the best loan product for international students seeking to study abroad or a different version of that might be why do you believe in MPOWER? And then once again, I'll change it up actually. Gazem, I'll start with you.
Yes, definitely. I think I talk about this a lot if you watch the other webinars, but building credit history, I think that's very important. When I came here, I didn't get a chance to get a student loan. Of course, if you work at school, maybe you're getting like social security number, etc. But I never thought about it. So when I graduated, I'm like, what am I doing now? I wanted to get a car loan. I don't want to talk about the interest rate of it. So getting a student loan, paying it on time, it will open a lot of doors for you because even renting a house by yourself, right? You need a credit score in the US for sure. Some jobs even require it right now. So you're going to have that edge for that. That's one of my favorite things out of the other things too, of course.
Awesome. So Ron, why do you believe in MPOWER?
Two reasons. So one is all the people that work here, we really want to make all students' lives better. So that's the first reason. The second reason, I really don't think we have a competitor in the market. I keep saying this again on most webinars. We offer the only fixed rate interest product. No one else does this. So yeah, that's one of the main reasons. It gives you a lot of peace of mind when you know, okay, I only have to pay this much money every month, and it really doesn't matter what else is happening in the world. This number is not going to change.
It's awesome. And then last but not least, Silver, why do you believe in MPOWER?
I believe MPOWER because we have been in this industry for almost 10 years and we're very stable and we perform well. So if I'm an international student right now, and I will trust MPOWER for my future, because I know this company will be able to be there like for the next 10, 20 years, judging from its past. So I think it's a safe choice for you.
Well, thank you all so much for joining us today, both our panelists and our attendees at this live session. One quick note is I saw a lot of visa-related questions, and take a look at our website. Our next webinar, I believe towards the end of this month, is specifically for visa and travel questions. So really excited to have you join us for that. But we'll be sending out a survey right after this that you can let us know how this was. We really value your feedback. So if there are topics or things you want to see, or things you think we can do better, please let us know. And then we'll also send out a recording of today's webinar and the materials that Gazem showed. But thanks again for joining us today. Great to have you here. And until next time, bye everyone.
Bye guys. Thank you.
Bye.